We all fear something we cannot explain, something that might just be a shadow in the darkness. But what if that shadow is real? What if someone out there is just waiting for the moment when you feel the safest to strike? I promise, this story will keep you awake until the end, because sometimes nuisances aren't just in your imagination.
Emma lived alone, a small apartment on the corner of a street that was always quiet. But that night, the silence felt too heavy for her. Emma was sitting on the couch watching TV when suddenly she heard a tapping sound from the window. She looked up with fear towards the window and thought to herself, maybe it was just the wind. The tapping sound from the window came again, louder this time. Emma stood up and cautiously approached the window. The tapping stopped, and Emma sighed in relief as she turned back. But just as she was about to sit down on the couch, a faint sound came from the direction of the front door.
Emma thought she was imagining things, but sometimes, when you feel that something is wrong, maybe it really is.
Emma shouted, "Who's there?" Suddenly, there was absolute silence, but then a faint, eerie, almost inhuman whisper was heard saying, "Open the door." Emma was shocked. She quickly locked the door and took a few steps back. At that moment, a loud banging sound came from the door. Emma, terrified, picked up the phone to call the police, but now the tapping sound was coming from the windows.
Emma thought locking the door would keep everything safe, but could the intruder find another way in?
Emma ran to the windows and locked them all, but then she heard footsteps coming from the roof. Terrified, she hid under the table. The lights suddenly go out. Absolute silence prevails. Only the sound of Emma's quiet breathing and the heavy footsteps on the roof can be heard. The footsteps stop. Then a heavy breathing sound is heard from behind Emma. Emma, in terror, looks back, but before she can see anything, the screen goes black and only her scream is heard.
I told you, sometimes nuisances aren't just in your imagination. Do you still feel safe?